Hey, this video, we're going to read The Jesus Injection by I already got the name wrong, by Eric Andrews Katz, because I hauled this in my most recent book haul, and I just have to find out what a book with the name The Jesus Injection is doing in the gay section. I'm probably gonna give spoilers for this because literally who cares about some book that was like published in like 2012 and it probably isn't even in rotation anymore. Um, but if you don't want spoilers, then I'm probably gonna do like just general review at the end of this video. But so far, I have read 30 pages of this, so you should see me explaining the plot of this to you right about now. My glasses are on because I actually need to be able to read something. But yeah, so far in, it obviously follows Buck. Buck 89, 98. I'm bad with numbers. That's also a subtitle of Buck 98, 89, 98 something adventure. He's like an agent for some kind of agency. We don't really get the name of it, but yeah, he's on vacation and he gets distracted by a drag queen, which I have to say that it uses the T slur to describe her, which is weird because drag queens aren't trans. But yeah, I don't know, it's an older book, I guess, so whatever. But just so you're warned, if you're actually gonna pick this up, he gets distracted by a drag queen who is then murdered, and he gets this weird number from this drag queen. So he then proceeds to like cancel his vacation and go back to the United States, where he meets up with this guy called Muffin, who is like the director of his agency. And I just have to say that the way that this building of this agency is laid out was so confusing to me. It could be just that I read this like yesterday at like 1 a.m., but I don't know how this works. They went up an elevator and then like through a wall, and then I thought there was a waiting room with people in it, but maybe there wasn't. And then there was a robot that they blew up, and then they just spoke for a while. So I don't know, but yeah, he has to like find out what happened, because there is also this somehow the death of this drag queen, which was actually like an attempt to murder Buck, was related to this woman called Dr. Raven Evangelista, who they suspect killed her husband, who found a cure for AIDS, and now has gone on a conservative ideology trip and is the founder of like a right-wing think tank that tries to gain political influence through fundraisers. And for some reason, they have to investigate her now. So he has this. He gets paired up with this colleague. They have a history, but it's not really explained that well. It's just like some mission has gone bad because he left her. I think it later explained that he left her hanging on a bridge or something. Which okay, and then they go off there. The both of them. I don't know. Buck is gay, which I mean I like. He really like. It's like a James Bondy type. Later. And that I'm gonna explain it, but yeah. So they both go off. They bicker all the time because they like really don't like each other. But I think their dynamic is actually not bad. I think it's kind of funny. But yeah, they go off. He gets the passports for them, and he gives her this really obnoxious name called, I think, Nosha von Tussel, which they pass off as German, and I'm telling you that's not German. Tussel? Really? I don't know. It's not German, I'm gonna tell you that. And they go off to this like hotel where the fundraiser happens. And why is everyone in this hotel gay? I wrote that in my notes, literally. Why? Because they meet up in a bar, and Buck is instantly like flirting with the bartender, and he gets all the drinks from him. Also, they call gay people like members of the club. Okay, cool. I'm a member of a club now. That's funny. It's really kind of weird because then like they use the elevator to get up to that gala, and the guy that operates the elevator is also gay. I don't know. It's really kind of weird. And then they get to the gala, and the caterer of the gala is also gay. That hotel that is owned by some women that is really like opposed to gay people because she owns a right-wing think tank is full of gay people. It's okay. But yeah, so then they are in a gala, like Buck flirts with a caterer, and Nush, her actual name is Agent 46, but I'm just calling, the book calls her Nuksha, something, because that's like the name that Buck has given her all the time. But yeah, Nuksha just like stays on the gala, and Buck tries to get into like the main computer of the hotel, but then there like a bomb explodes outside, but that's like unrelated because there's the bomb, a bar for Jesus guy that tries to blow up gay bars, which is just a plot thread that is in here, and it's not related to the main thing. Yeah, it's really weird. I don't know. And so the entire gala and the rest of the hotel is like cleared out, and Buck still manages to check into the computer, and then they meet up back at their hotel, and they go through that, and then he encounters on a website he encounters an icon called the Jesus injection. So now we know that the Jesus injection exists, but we don't know what the Jesus injection is yet. And Nuksha actually met some senator or something at the gala, and she now meets up with the senator for dinner to get onto something because he mentioned like a program, and they think that program is connected to that Jesus injection. But actually, that whole chapter was just like them flirting around and like meeting for dinner. And now he invited both of them to another gala, also hosted by Dr. Raven Evangelista. Also, I forgot to tell you, but in my notes, I literally wrote Dr. Raven Evangelista reminds me so much of Erica Kirk on a grief tour. Like, I'm sorry if I piss people off by telling her that literally what the fuck, like, how are you grieving? But it's reminding me so much of her. Just probably a little bit uglier, even though I also think that Erica Kirk is ugly. Like, what are you on about? It's so weird. But yeah, that's where I am. I'm probably going to update you once I'm further into it. I mean, it's readable. I'm not hating it. It's just very weird. And Buck is like a character that I actually also don't like because he's really like James Bondy. And when I'm telling you that he's James Bond and that he's a man. He tries to get it on with everybody, and he actually gets it on with the elevator operator. I don't want to call him a lift boy because that sounds kind of underage, but like he just gets it on with the guy that operates the elevator, and like he flirts with all the other people in the hotel, and they're for some reason all like all gay too. What? I don't know. Yeah, but I'm gonna update you once I'm even further into it, and let's just hope this isn't gonna go terrible.
So I'm about 75% finished with this one, and we gotta be quick because I got a lot of pages of notes to go through. So where I left off, I think, was Nuksha, I still don't know the name, just got to know about the other gala that Miss Raven Evangelista is putting on through the congressman. So now we cut to Buck, and he is informing their supervisor, Muffin, the guy called Muffin, about their progress, and he tells Buck that they found that bomb bar for Jesus guy that blew up the bar while they were staying in Virginia. So now Buck and Nuksha are going to New Orleans, and in New Orleans before that gala, Buck manages to get seated at the same table as Dr. Raven Evangelista, and Nuksha then gets seated with the congressman. So then we cut to the gala, and Nuksha is like talking with the congressman, but she actually like gets in a fight with him because he's a bigot about gay marriage. And yeah, she just runs out, and then she's followed by like a group of men dressed up as skeletons, and you look at her really weirdly, but she just stares back at them, and nothing happens because the congressman runs after her to apologize to her, and so the skeletons like turn back again. And then we cut to Buck. He's in a conversation with a woman who's one of Dr. Raven Evangelista's friends, and he actually finds out that Dr. Raven Evangelista had a gay son once upon a time. And then he also goes out of the gala because he actually ran into that caterer from Virginia again, and they agreed to go on a date. But he also gets followed by like these skeleton men, and they like beat him up, and he also beats them up. But when he gets to that guy, he's pretty bloody and shit. And they go into this room and, get it on. And then when he gets back from that guy to the hotel, he finds that actually one of those skeleton people followed Naksha to the hotel and knocked her out, and then went through her stuff. So now they are searching through her stuff, and there's nothing missing except for Buck's laptop and Naksha's phone. But then Buck also, at the gala, managed to snatch one of Dr. Raven Evangelist's hair and request a DNA test from the headquarters. And when they get back to the room, they get the DNA test delivered, and then they find out that the Bomb a Bar for Jesus guy is Dr. Raven Evangelista's son, because they have a DNA connection. So then they research what they know about the Bomb a Bar for Jesus guy, as well as Dr. Raven Evangelista's son, just to see if anything like matches up how he became that, because Dr. Raven Evangelista's son, like I said, is gay. So then they find out that she actually gave him away. But then once he was like grown up, she actually like reached out to him again. So he came in contact with her, his adoptive mother, but for some reason he was then with like ex-gay or like Pray the Gay Away group that she does like fund with her like foundation. And Buck then meets up with the leader of that foundation, and he finds out that while he was there, Dr. Raven Evangelist's son actually had a boyfriend, and obviously that upset her, and he then just vanished off the earth, and then obviously became the Bomb a Bar for Jesus guy, but nobody knew that. And so then he finds also out who that boyfriend was, and that boyfriend was that guy who was the drag queen that he met at the start of the book that was murdered. And then Buck and Naksha go to interrogate the Bomb a Bar for Jesus guy. His name is William, by the way. I'm gonna call him William. And he is very confused. He has these scorch marks on, like, I think his temples. And so he only talks in Bible quotes, but he still seems receptive. And when Buck asks him about the Jesus injection, he freaks out. He screams and yells like really loudly and recites something from like a biblical book that has something to do with like an event in the sky or something. I don't know the Bible that well. And like they don't know what that means, so they go out again. And then Buck goes away on another date with this caterer guy, and Naksha stays in their room and tries to figure out what all this is going on. And then she notices, while going through Dr. Raven Evangelist's investments, as well as a like brain scan from William, that William has like these brain waves that go in the other way of his normal brain waves. And Dr. Raven Evangelista has invested in a company that concerns itself with brainwave research and maybe alteration. So she figures out that this Jesus injection maybe is a Raven Evangelista's twisted way of like inventing a quote unquote cure for homosexuality for her son. But that made him into the Bomb a Bar for Jesus guy. But before I think she wants to share it, but then she opens the door of the hotel and another skeleton man is standing there and he chloroforms her. And that's as far as I'm at the moment. I mean, probably Dr. Raven Evangelista has come to kidnap her. I'm pretty sure these skeleton men work for her. And this book is like not the most like twisty thing ever. It's like pretty straightforward as far as that, so I think I'm right about that. And I mean, it's good. It's good so far. So, also another note I took by doing this, this calls out a lot of like the ridiculousness of conservative politics. And this was like written in 2012 or something. It calls out the ridiculousness a lot, and the conservative politicians in this book, or like the conservative figurehead, like Dr. Raven Evangelist is not exactly a politician, but she's a figurehead. They have the same exact talking points as they still do today. is literally the conservatives are so boring and like you can see through them so easily. They still use the same talking points and people still fall for it. What is wrong? But yeah, I don't know. Also, just because like topically, I don't know when this comes out, but ICE. Yeah. I hate it. I hate these people. I know I'm not political on this platform, but I like leftism. I like leftism, okay? I like leftism. I don't know, but I think I'm gonna give you an update once I'm done because there's no point in updating you anywhere in these like 25%. And then I'm gonna give you a review. That's also gonna be spoiler free, but you probably already know that because I already probably said that at the start of this video somewhere. But anyway, I'm gonna see you there.
So we're back for my final update. My hair looks absolutely horrific, but I just literally woke up, but I finished the Jesus injection last night and I just couldn't do it. And well, I was like in my bedclothes and I was also so tired. But yeah, this book got finished. And yeah, I'm gonna tell you what the ending was because yeah, this is the spoiler vlog. So where we left off, Naksha was just kidnapped by that skeleton guy. And so we are now following Buck on his date with this caterer, Richard. And when he arrives, Richard is like really surprised to see him. And then when he goes in there, it's like already weird. And actually it turns out Richard is a double agent. Or actually he's like just an agent, so who works for Raven. And he also knocks him out, and when he awakes, he's with Naksha again, and they are in this like room, and Raven comes to them, and she basically tells them, I want to get into your agency's building to retrieve the copy of my files you downloaded onto the computer there. And she basically tries to get the information out of them, and when they tell her kind of how to get into the agency, but not really. And so she just takes Naksha's keys as well as Naksha as a hostage and goes there. And Buck is left to like be, I don't know, transformed. He should get the Jesus injection. And then Buck, like frees himself and, tries to immediately like go after them. While that happens, we're cutting to Naksha. She's, Raven, uses her to get into the agency and then like wants to get into the computer, and Naksha gives her a password, but then also like runs away and locks herself into like a secret conference room, so she like just escapes. And then we follow Buck again, who like went after them pretty quickly. He also tries to get into the agency, but Richard is there again, and so they drive up there. But like the elevator has some secret mechanism when you turn when the key that you use to get into the secret floor where the agency is, if it is like only slightly broken, if there's like one of those little things that are on a key is like gone or like bent, then the elevator will immediately like activate like a trapdoor. And so Buck was like handcuffed by Richard to the elevator's handrails. And when the trapdoor activates and Richard inevitably falls to his death, Buck hangs in there. And then over him in the agency, there's a huge explosion. And then we actually cut to the epilogue. So he, Naksha, and Muffin meet up at a restaurant. And then Naksha tells us what actually happened, because in the agency, like the computers are self-destructing if you type a wrong word in there. And so she just gave Raven the wrong password, and the computer like blew up in her face. Yeah, so that's literally how the thing ended. And yeah, it's basically the end is just Buck being in his like room, and Naksha calls him about their vacation they're going on because he lost a bet to her or something, and now they're going to Belize for a vacation. And that's how this ends. So overall, for my spoiler-free review, I would give this like 4 stars, actually. I didn't think it was bad, which I was just morbidly curious about this book, because what was a book called The Jesus Injection doing in the gay section? And it was actually pretty okay. I mean, it's pretty obvious from the plot. Like there are attempted twists in there, but I was actually like never surprised. I could really see it like coming. And I'm not even that huge of like I don't read a lot of like spy books. I also don't read a lot of like thriller or mystery type books. So it really is not that much of like a secretive plot. But if you just like kind of, I don't know if there are like people out there that like James Bond type books. I usually don't read that kind of stuff. I actively don't read that many thrillers, and it always turns me away if there's like a police, detective, or a spy main POV, because I just don't like that. But this one was pretty cool. Buck is really just like a gay version of a James Bond, down to that he really like tries to get it on with everybody. He's really hypersexual, and the way that James Bond like also tries to rizz up every lady he comes across. If that is offensive to you, I apologize, but I've actually never seen a James Bond movie. This is just my impression of what a James Bond movie is. Yeah, and I don't know, I thought it was pretty fun. I like the dynamic between Naksha and him, although I still hate Naksha's name, but I think it kind of grew on me. This also has a sequel. I don't think I'm gonna continue. This is like an old ass book that is probably out of print, and like, I'm sorry that I'm always saying it's an old ass book. It's from 2012. I was 4 in 2012. I like literally, I'm so sorry, but it's, I'm everything that is in the early 2010s is already old for me. I'm sorry that I'm young. Okay, I'm sorry that I'm young. But yeah, it was fun. It's not great. It's not amazing, but it's a fun read, really, and I would recommend it if you can come across this somehow. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I don't know, let me tell me if you liked it, if I should do more types of videos like this. I just now started a huge book that I don't know how actually like reading blog type content or like book analysis content I can bring you in the next few days, in the next few weeks actually, because that book is like 990 pages and I don't have the audiobook. So this is quite the endeavor, and I don't even know if I'm gonna get through all of it, but you're probably gonna see more of like video, book recommendation, bookshelf tour or something like that videos from me in the coming weeks. What I have like, just like have coming across, because I just can't make reading vlog type content. Or if you would like just like smaller videos where I just give you updates on the book, just if you want that, you could also tell me. Anyways, just tell me anything in the comments, because I always love to hear from you, and leave a like if you enjoyed this video. I hope I see you again. Bye.